Today we're talking about my menstrual cup experience. Now hopefully this will be helpful for you guys if you are thinking about using a menstrual cup, you've been using a menstrual cup, you hate your menstrual cup, you love your menstrual cup. Hopefully some of the things that I'm going to tell you about my experience will definitely help you guys, just along with some of the things that, you know, you've been doing right, you've been doing it wrong, etc. Because as with all things, when we think about subjects that we feel a bit insecure about talking to other people about, we can sometimes feel like we're the only person having that problem, and believe me, you guys are absolutely not. So grab a cup of tea and let's get started. So today we're talking about these old things, and the first time I used one, it really terrified me because it's so big. You look at it and you're like, how is that going to go up there? Honestly, I watched a few things on like the technique of folding and inserting, but obviously no one shows you actually how to do it because, I mean, that would be sexualized, wouldn't it? And then we wouldn't get to be able to see a practical show how of how to put it up your vagina. So we get shown these like funny diagrams, etc., of how to fold it and then insert it, usually into some kind of glass jar. Obviously they're helpful, but it's not the real thing, you know? So the first time I used a Moon Cup, I absolutely hated it, and it's not because I don't like the brand Moon Cup, it's because it was not right for me. There was so much that I didn't know. I didn't even really bother to research. I genuinely thought there was only one type of menstrual cup, so when I went to buy it I just bought that Moon Cup and I basically tried to insert it, and then once it was in there I was too terrified to take it out. But I persevered for another 3 months, another 3 periods, because I was like, I spoke to other people that I knew were in this kind of zero waste space and were telling me that I need to persevere and just get used to it. And I did get used to it after about 3 months. However, going in and coming out was still really painful, and I didn't quite understand why. Obviously thought it was because of the size of it, and taking it out I wasn't doing the technique right or something like that. So after that I decided to do a ton of research to try and figure out what I was doing wrong, and whether there was a better way of putting it in, or if there was just any other options out there for me. Well, my friends, it turns out that not all vaginas are created exactly the same, which unfortunately, due to poor sex education and poor biology education, I didn't really know. Obviously I knew that vaginas on the outside, the vulva, sorry, could look different, but I didn't realise that the vagina inside could actually be incredibly different in terms of the shape or the length of your canal, whether it's straight or whether it's curved or whether it's whatever else there is possible. So I didn't realise that there would be a different menstrual cup for a different shaped vagina. Good one, Amy. So I went out and I did some research and decided to figure out what would be right for me. In particular, I bought a new cup and all of my problems were solved. The end. If only. The first time I put it in, I genuinely was like, okay, well, I guess it's in there forever now. I had to get real intimate with myself to get that menstrual cup out, and it's actually really like made me realise that I don't understand, or I didn't understand fully how my body worked. So for me that was the biggest negative, was not realising that a different cup is shaped for a different vagina, and making sure that you are getting exactly the right one for you. Practicing taking it in and out, which leads me on to my next point of taking it out in public. But taking it out in public restrooms, or if you're out and you're at a club and you're on your period and you need to empty it or whatever. So I wanted to do a little story time for the first time that I took mine out. Okay, so my friends had just run the Hackney half marathon and we all went for pizza, and this was the first time I had ever worn the menstrual cup. So I had no idea how long it would last, how heavy my period was compared to the cup, so how often I would need to take it out and change it. So just to make sure, I went to the bathroom and I decided to take it out. And that was a mistake, it really was. It was like a bloody murder had taken place in there, and I was mortified and disgusted, and I literally panicked and looked around and was so grateful. I have never been so grateful for seeing like lots of toilet paper, kitchen towels and kind of soap. So obviously I cleaned everything up, but it was actually scarring, and it made me realise that, guys, if you are going to use a menstrual cup for the first time, practice at home first, please. Honestly, if there was not like loo paper to clean everything up, oh my god, like I would have been mortified because I would have had to go and tell someone. I couldn't just leave it like that. That's disgusting. Honestly, when you watch other people's videos, they're like, oh, it's super easy, you just slip it out, empty it, give it a little rinse and just slip it back in. That was definitely not my experience the first time taking out in a restroom. Definitely practice at home. It was the biggest mistake ever not to practice at home. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know what I was thinking. Also, don't take it out if you don't need to. I didn't need to take it out at that point. I could have had it in for a couple more hours, but I hadn't practiced enough in the safety of my own home to know that actually I didn't need to take it out, and I could have kept it in for a couple more hours, wait till I got home in the safety of my own bathroom and taken it out then. So definitely try and figure out the amount of hours that you need to have it in for before taking it out in public. Seriously. Now, if you get any leakage with your menstrual cup, that is perfectly normal, or you're kind of doing it wrong so that the seal hasn't secured itself and it's like, hello, I'm ready to catch your blood. Because when you put it in, it tends to be like this. In my mind, it looks like this. And it goes up and then it's meant to be like, wah, and then it's like ready. And it has little like holes on the side that makes it stick to the side of your vaginal walls. And that's what keeps it in place, and when the blood comes down, that's what keeps it from spilling down and leaking. However, I have always had leaking no matter which one that I've tried, and I've tried quite a few different ones. So if you are having leaking, I would highly suggest having some additional menstrual pads or menstrual pants. I prefer the pants, to be honest, but you can also get reusable pads. The only reason why I use the pants are because I've used them and I've never had a problem with anything ever coming out. I felt really secure and really safe, and also because they are built into their pants, they're not like reusable pads that could move. But that's why sometimes it's good to use those in conjunction with each other, so that if you do have a leakage, then it's caught by something else. So menstrual cups are a bigger payment in kind of initially. I think my one was like 18 or 20 pounds or something like that. But within a few months, or within four to 5 months, it basically paid for itself in not having to spend money on tampons. But I totally think that it's worth it. But I think that if you do buy a menstrual cup, you should absolutely do your research, because even though some companies are really wonderful and they donate some of their profits to charity and they're really, really great, their menstrual cup might just be completely wrong for you. Also, if you have a super short canal, menstrual cups might not be right for you at all, and you shouldn't feel guilty about that. I know lots of people who have periods who have tried the menstrual cup and haven't loved it. Actually, it's been super painful for them, and they felt guilty about not using it anymore. And you should not feel guilty, because there is enough stigma and shame around periods that you don't want to be adding some eco-anxiety to that as well. It's so important that you feel comfortable in your period, that you feel confident that you're not going to have an accident, or that people are going to, I don't know. If a menstrual cup doesn't work for you, do not feel guilty. There are so many other really wonderful options, like organic tampons, like reusable pads or reusable pants, or there is now a thing called like reusable tampons. I mean, they sound really weird to me, but they might be perfect for you. So there are so many other options if menstrual cups are not right for you. But my experience was terrible when I had the wrong cup, wonderful when I had the right cup, but also the knowledge and the research and practice. And also not being afraid to really stick your fingers up there and have a look around and just make sure that the seal has actually like stuck, so that it is secure and it is safe. Once again, I do want to reiterate that menstrual cups are only for those who don't feel pain when they use it, feel comfortable using it, and it actually works for their bodies. If it doesn't work for you, do not feel guilty. I just want to share my experience because I love menstrual cups. I think that they are honestly a game changer, and lots of people do use them when they go to festivals. I personally, having just gone to Glastonbury, could not think of anything worse. I just can't bear the idea. I didn't even feel clean, even though I washed myself as best I could when I was there, let alone washing a menstrual cup. Anyway, this video is getting long, so if you have any questions about menstrual cups, or you just want to share your experience, please leave them down below. Just before we go, I do want to say a massive thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Skillshare is an online learning community for creators with more than 25,000 classes in design, business, and more. And I've been particularly interested in learning about interior design recently, and I've been looking at the kind of Lauren Cox design program at Hazelnut because I just really am quite crap at looking at design, and I want to create my space so that it's really nice for, you know, shooting videos and just being more productive and yeah, basically like that. So Skillshare is giving away a 2-month unlimited access trial to my subscribers who click the link in the description, and after that it's only around $10 a month. So thank you for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it and it was a little bit informative, and I want to do some more kind of personal, like, you know, informational videos about periods and things like that without you guys feeling like you can't ask me any crazy, bizarre, weird questions that you'd otherwise feel uncomfortable asking. We need to create an open conversation here. And also I just want to mention Jess Greenash. I love her channel. She talks very openly about her vagina and her vulva, and she's just really open about it, and I think that we need to have more YouTubers like her on here, on this platform, creating really positive and open conversations about our bodies. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye.